Let's continue talking about Passover. It's coming soon. B'ezras Hashem. Haba Leinu Tova. So I want to tell you, right? We spoke about the Seder, the Haggadah, how to do it more or less, right? We spoke about that already several times. Let's talk about now about the preparations, right? So the first thing a person has to do, right, before Passover, is to clean the house. It's a minhag like this, minhag. You clean the house. You go to every room. You clean it up. Because why? When you have a mess in the house, you can't really, check for Chametz. You can't really do much when it's a mess. So the first thing you got to do is clean. First order of business. Then you can start already to check the Chametz, to see what needs to be removed, what needs to be destroyed, whatever never needs to be burned. But if it's a whole mess, right, you can't find nothing, right? Everything is all over the place. You can't do nothing. You can't work with that. That's the thing, So that's why you need to clean the house. I remember one time I heard, right, in the name of Rabbi Sheinberg, Rabbi Shalom, he used to tell people like this. How long should it take for you to clean the house for Passover? So he used to say, not more than 4 hours, right? Which I'm not sure if people are doing like that 4 hours. Probably doing more like 40 hours, right? These women today, these ladies, 4 hours is a little bit small, but the truth is, that if you can do 4 hours, that's also not bad, and how you make the seder, everything is mesudar, everything is right and neat and orderly. So this way, you can work with that. So even 4 hours is good, but some people are doing 40 hours, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? The ladies are doing a lot. It says in the Shulchan Aruch, there are some people who even have the custom, they just scrape the walls, for Passover. Scrape. Can you imagine? What's on the wall? There's nothing, there's no chametz over there. But there was minhag like this also, scraping the walls even. They had
we were painting. Sorry.
Painting. What, every year we paint? Oh, nice. Okay, I like that. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. That's nice. So that's the thing, there's all kinds of customs about how to clean and prepare for Passover. Some people do a little bit more, some people do a little bit less. But you have to do something, The house has to be in order. Otherwise, you can't do nothing, right? You can't get anything done. That's number one. This is a minhag, Good minhag. Fine. So then, right, the night before Passover, you have to check, do bedikat chametz. Right? The rabbis commanded us to do this. Why? Because the truth is, according to the Torah, it's enough to do bitul. What does bitul mean? You nullify the chametz. You say, right? You make nullification. You look in the siddur, right? You say our minhag is to say 3 times the bitul, right? So bitul is enough according to the Torah if you nullify it. But the rabbis were worried, Sometimes what happens is that a person nullifies it, but in his heart, he still wants a nice big, challah. He doesn't want to nullify that. He wants to use it. So the rabbis were afraid, that he's going to nullify, but he's not going to be able to really, to do it with a full heart. That's why they said, go look for the chametz, find it, locate it, do bidika in every room, and destroy it right afterwards. We have to do biur chametz, or you have to sell it, right? One or the other. You cannot just leave it like that, right? So bitul is enough, nullification from the Torah, but the rabbi is also required to check also. So what you have to do is, you make the bracha, right, first. Before you start the search for the chametz, what bracha do you make? Al biur chametz, right? This is the bracha that one. Al biur chametz. You take a candle, right? Or if you don't have a candle, you can use a flashlight also. But candle is better. Why is candle better than flashlight? Because the rabbis, decreed to use a candle. In those days, they didn't have flashlights, So when you do candle, you're doing the way the rabbis decreed. This is even better, So if you can use a candle, it's even better. Why do we use a candle? What's the purpose of this? What do you need a candle for? But you have electric, So what do you need a candle? So you know what? What is it?
It's a
Minhag. Yeah, the truth is, it's more than minhag. It's obligation also. But the question is why. So the answer is, that the candle gives you a light that the electric cannot give you. Why? Because it's spotlight. Like focused on one particular area. Spotlighting. This is the reason why we use a candle. Because you want to go into those nooks and crevices, those narrow areas. So a candle helps you to see spotlight over there in that area that you're looking for.
We shut off the lights at that
Right, that's a good question, right? You have to shut off the lights. If you remember, we spoke about this, about Havdalah, So some people, when they do the Nair for the Havdalah, they shut off the lights,
Yeah, it's the same.
Same thing, just like over there, you shouldn't shut off the lights. Here also, don't shut it off. Why is it going to help you to shut off the lights? You have less light. So you see less. How's that going to help you, right? So don't shut off the lights. That's not the smart thing to do. You should have more light, not less light. Why have less? What does that help you, right? Okay. You're going to get the point, right? So you should have all the lights on, yeah, of course. But you have to also have a candle as well, So what you do is, you make the bracha, start looking in every room, If it's too much for you to check the whole house, get the family involved, children, your wife, everybody will check one room. This way it'll make it easier, right? Instead of one person having to check the whole house, which is not so easy, sometimes it can take a long time to check the whole house. But if you split it up into rooms, each one does one room, that's it, right? In 15 minutes you're done, right? Instead of having to do 2 hours. It's much easier, right? Makes it much easier. So, if you're smart, you'll do it the smart way. Okay, whatever, right? That's the thing. So, you do, right? You have to check every room. But in a place where chametz never goes in there, right? You don't have to check in that place, right? Like the bathroom, who takes chametz into the bathroom? Nobody does that, right? So you have to check the bathroom for what?
Kids.
He's right? So he's saying, right, that if you have small kids, that's something else, right? I was just going to say that, by the way. You have to look in because the small kids will take it everywhere, right? They have no sechel, they have no brains. They take it everywhere. That's something else. But if you don't have any small kids, right? I don't have any small kids in the house, My kids are grown up already. I'm sorry?
Grandkids.
Yeah, same thing. If you have small kids in the house, you have to check every room, But if you don't have, who's going to take the chametz to the bathroom? Nobody's going to do that, right? So you don't have to check there. You don't have to do that, right? Everything has to be done in the proper way.
Question.
Yeah.
For Pesach, we have to clean up whole built house or just a kitchen?
The truth is, you have to clean the whole house. So what does that mean? I'm not telling you that you have to clean, crazy, everything, every little corner, but make everything nice and neat. This way you know what you're looking for. Because if it's a balagan, if it's a mess.
Whole house, 40 hours not enough. 40 hours not
Okay, I think you probably have a big house, right? You have a big mansion, right? Okay, God bless you, right? God bless you. You do the best we can, We do the best we can. What can we do, right? The truth is, you should clean the whole house. Everything should be cleaned up. Because if you don't clean it, it's gonna be a mess. You're not gonna be able to find nothing like that. That's the thing. Okay, so you have to have a clean piece of paper to work with, clean house to work with. Otherwise, you can't even start. That's the thing, as we said. So as we said, right, you can check every room that chametz may go in there. Check everything. You also have to check, by the way, besides the house, you have to check also your clothing. Your pockets, your suit, your pants, right? You have to check those things. Make sure there's nothing in those pockets. Because chametz sometimes goes in there. Sometimes you put a chocolate bar in there, waffle. You waffle, you put something in there. You never forgot. Right? You left it there. You got chametz over there. So you got to check your pockets also. You got to check everything. The suit, the pocket. Wherever chametz goes in, right? As we said, if you have small children, right? Make sure you check their knapsack, when they take to school, right? The knapsack. There could be chametz in there, right? Some sandwich, he left in there. Some cookies, crackers. God knows what, right? You have to check also that. You got to check all these things. By the way, also, if you have a business, you got to check your office, your store. If you have, right, whatever you got there, right?
Rabbi,
Your duchan.
When you don't use it,
What does that mean you don't use it?
it means that you have that 8 days you don't go to the office.
Right, but you're using it all year, right? That's the thing, So there could be chametz left there, from the all year, So you got to check the business also. If you have an office, you have a store, you got to check it. There's chametz there coming in there all the time. People are eating there, lunch, this, that, right? Snacks, all kinds of things going on there. So you got to check the business also. Also, you got to check your car. Make sure you check your car. The glove compartment, right? The trunk. There could be some food over there. You never know, right? You got to check. I remember one time, I had somebody, who a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention their name, but I don't want to embarrass anybody. But he was a messy person, this person, So one time, he asked me, he said, "Do me a favor, go and vacuum my car, for Passover, He told me, go to the gas station and vacuum it out. So I said, okay, I'll do it for you. And I was a young kid, So I went, but the car was so dirty, It was a big mess, He doesn't clean the car all year. What a mess, It took me like an hour to clean that car. You know what I mean? Huh? Jewish car. So, it's Jewish Chametz, right? How can I tell you, right? So, some people have a very messy car, my God, it takes like an hour to clean the car. I mean, even that's not enough. So, it depends, right, how messy it is. But anyway, you got to check the car, Go with the candle, flashlight, right, with your car. Go look around, in the trunk, glove compartment here, there, right, cubbies there, all kinds of pockets there, all kinds of stuff. Check, right, you never know what you got there, So you got to check the car also. So you got to check all these places, that we mentioned, that all these things, that's the whole check, right? So you check all this stuff. What about if a person, has like, he has what do you call it, somewhere far, like, he also has to check that, if he used it, like recently, if he uses it, he has to check that too. But if you can't go there, you have to send somebody, maybe to check it there, for you, or you have to sell it, sell the whole thing, when you sell. Let's say you have a vacation house, in Florida, right, or something, right, something like that, right? So you got to check that too, it has to be checked, everything, whatever it is, right? You got to check all these things. Huh? For Hashem. Well, right? That's the thing, right? So you got to check everything. So that's the thing, So once you finish, checking everything, what you do is you gather up all the chametz, you found, right? And what you do is you take all the chametz, and you put it into one place, so it doesn't get lost. Because in the morning you got to destroy it, right? Whatever's left, you got to destroy, or you got to sell it, right? One or the other. You can't just leave it like that. So you put it in one place, right? In the morning, when you wake up, if you wake up early, right? You can have breakfast, chametz. There's still time, to eat breakfast, chametz. So once you eat breakfast in the morning, chametz, if you want to eat chametz in the morning, so then, right, after you finish eating, you gotta destroy it, right? The chametz, you gotta, bring it, right? The rabbi has a fire over here, right? Bring it over and burn it, right? Whatever, right? That's what you gotta do.
Just piece.
I'm sorry?
Not everything, just piece, small piece.
Whatever you got to burn, or you got to sell it, one or the other.
Whatever left.
I'm sorry?
Small piece.
No, you got to do everything. Either you sell or you burn, one or the other, right? Or you flush it down the toilet, right? You can do that too.
He means some people they bring this much blade. Some people it's needed small or this.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you need, whatever you need. That you have a lot, you have a little, whatever. Just bring it, and burn it, right? Whatever it is. So that's what you do, Once you gotta gather it up, save it in one place, so this way it doesn't get lost. Because if it gets scattered, again, you gotta check again. You know what I mean? So it's a big, it's a big problem. You know what I mean? If it got scattered again, make sure you put it into one place. Wait till the morning, and then you bring it and you burn it, whatever, right? You get rid of it, you sell it. What about selling it? Are you allowed to sell chametz? Yeah, you're allowed to sell chametz. There are, by the way, some Ashkenazim. They're very machmir. They say, oh, you can't sell chametz. It's no good, not kosher. It's not true what they're saying. Don't listen to these people. Whoever tells you, right, you cannot sell your chametz, don't listen to them because they don't know what they're talking about. Because in the Shulchan Aruch it says you're allowed to sell your chametz. In the Khatam Sofer, used to say that whoever doesn't believe, in selling chametz, it says he's like a kofer. The person who has no emunah doesn't believe in selling chametz. What does that mean? What is it you don't believe? It's real. It's not a joke. It's not a game. You know what I mean? So if you have some expensive stuff, right, you don't want to throw it away. Let's say you got a bottle of whiskey, right? $30, $50, whatever it is, right? You don't want to throw that away, maybe. You don't want to flush it down the toilet. So sell it. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do, right? To make sure you sell it. So the rabbi, I think he sells it, right? You sell it, right? So you can sell, with the rabbis, you come to the rabbi, you sign something, whatever, right? You make a kinyan, some people, rabbis do kinyan, with a pen or something, handkerchief, right? Whatever, right? Whatever it is, they do kinyan, or you sign something, right? You fill out a form, right? You give them a couple of bucks, maybe for a tip, the truth is, that some people don't give tip, the Ashkenazim, they don't give nothing. They come, they don't give nothing to the rabbi. But the Sfardim, we do, we give something, usually.
About some people, they do it on the computer. Is that...
Good question, right? Exactly. That's what I was going to talk about that, right? So now they have service also online, you can sell online. I mean, so whoever knows how to operate the computer, right? You're not too old for that, right? You still learn how to do a computer. So you can do it, online, also, right? But you have to go to somebody reliable, somebody who knows what he's doing, online. A company that knows what they're doing, Don't go to some amaretz, some, person doesn't know what he's doing. Because the truth is, that to sell chametz, you have to have some chokhmah for this, some wisdom, You have to know how to do it. So what the rabbis over here, what they do is, they don't know how to do it themselves. What they do is, they go to the bed din, and they sell it over there in the bed din. Because over there the rabbi knows how to do it. That's the thing, Because not every rabbi knows how to do this, to sell the chametz to a goy. It's a little bit complicated, There's a few things you've got to know about that. So it's a little bit tricky, So, yeah.
Crown height is okay, right?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know them over there. I don't know these people over there.
Because they
But
have online.
all I can tell you is one thing. That there is a service in the Rabbanut. In Israel. If you go into the website of the Rabbanut, they have it over there.
In Israel?
In Israel, yeah. You go into the website. They have it in Hebrew. They have it in English. They have, you just fill it out, right? And you're set. What can I tell you? Nobody's perfect, right? What can we do? We do the best we can, right? So, yes, you can do it online. The thing is, online, there's one thing, which is lacking, there's no kinyan, you know what I mean? So some say, it's better to do it in person, you know what I mean? With a kinyan or something, where you fill out a form. But also on the computer, you fill out a form, so, it's okay, it's good. Baruch Hashem, it's good. So you can do it online, yes. If you cannot, right, whatever, find a rabbi, you don't have what, or, whatever, you don't have somebody good there, whatever it is, right? Yes, you can sell online. No problem, you can do that. So, as we said, right, either you have to destroy it or sell it, right? One or the other. You cannot have chametz in the house, just like that, right? So what you do is, if you sell the chametz, right, and you want to keep it for Passover, what you do is, you put it away somewhere, nobody's going to get to it, nobody's going to touch it, right? And put a sign, so people should know, don't touch this, this is not chametz, right? Don't touch it. The truth is, that it says in the halakha, it says in Bet Yosef, that if you see chametz, right, on Passover, even though it's not yours, you're not allowed to pick it up, You're not allowed to. Why? Because we're afraid, he's going to come to eat it, if he picks it up. He may come to eat it also. So that's why the rabbi said, if you see chametz on Passover, don't touch it, just leave it there. It's not yours, what's it your business? Right? It has nothing to do with you, So that's the thing. But if it belongs to the goy, you can have it in your house, right? You sold it, you can have it in your house, just put it in a nice, safe place, That's the thing. That's what you got to do. So that's how we, get rid of the chametz. Which is the best way to get rid of the chametz? According to Kabbalah, the best way is to burn it. That's why the rabbi has the fire, right? That's the best way. But you can also, if you cannot burn it for some reason, what you can do is also, flush it down the toilet, right? And or just like put it in the garbage, incinerator, in your garbage, right? To dump there. In your apartment building, whatever, right? Put it in throw it down there in the chute. That's also good. That's also good because you can't get to that now. That's gone. That's it, right? There's no way you can touch it anymore. It's finished. So that's it, right? So you can do that too. But the best thing to do is to burn. If you can do that, right? Burn a little chametz. It's a big tikkun. It's a big mitzvah. Okay, so that's great. It's fantastic. Okay, I guess we'll stop here. But I just want to tell you one thing, right? After you finish the bedikah, you gotta do bitul. At night. Kol chamira di kabir shuti, right? All this, right? Look in the machzor. You see, right? We say 3 times, bitul. We nullify the chametz. And then again in the morning, when we go, right, to burn the chametz, we do another bitul. So we do bitul twice, once at night, after you finish the bedikah, and then again in the morning, one more time, right? Bitul, chametz. So we do it twice, Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen, Amen. רבי חנניה בן כשומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לעסוק לישראל, לפיכך חיבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר במה חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידין.